teaching on emptiness. So first, I hope I will remember. I have no note today. So I have some outlines. So number one is a lineage of emptiness, and number two is we have lineage of emptiness and reason why we need to meditate on emptiness, number two. And number three is how to identify the inner existent self. And number four is then fourth outline is what is real actual inherent existent self. And then number 50 is how to negate the inherent existent self. And then we have conclusion of the reason and meditation. And then, before this, we have how to maintain the absence of inherent existence, emptiness. Then we have conclusion, reason, and meditation. So these are outline, okay. So first is the lineage of emptiness. So understanding emptiness is very, very important. So first we have lineage. We have to understand the lineage of the emptiness. So therefore, Buddha told different types of emptiness, right? Emptiness of self-sufficient, emptiness of external existence, and emptiness of absence of inherent existence. So different types of emptiness. So therefore, so this when we talk about emptiness of self-sufficient, so this is the emptiness accepted by the maybe 4 schools of India. Remember, we have Vipassika school and Sutantika school, so which is Hinayana school. So these 2 schools accept emptiness of self-sufficient. So that lineage come before Nagarjuna. Nagarjuna came to India after Buddha passed away 400 years. So then, so that lineage come before Nagarjuna. So Vipassika school and Sutantika school, the lineage emptiness of what we call self-sufficient, okay. And then we have emptiness of external existence, mind-only school. So remember, so mind-only school lineage coming from Asanga, Indian master. Asanga is the founder of the mind-only school, and Vasubandhu and so Indian master. And then we have lineage of emptiness of absence of independent existence. The founder is Nagarjuna, Indian master. So Nagarjuna, then the Nagabodhi, Indian master, and Buddha Palita, Chandrakirti, and Lama Tsongkhapa, all these. So different. So lineage briefly is something like that. Okay, emptiness, different types. So that is the lineage of the different types of emptiness. So 4 school, Hinayana school, Mahayana school. So Hinayana school divided into 2, right? Vipassika and Sutantika school. And mind-only school, Mahayana school divided into mind-only school and middle wave school. So middle wave school divided into 2, Madhyamika. Sotantika and Madhyamika Pasankega. So therefore lineage briefly something like that. And then second is why it is very important to meditate on emptiness. The reason is without meditating on emptiness, we are unable to cut the root of ignorance or the root of afflictive emotions. Even you have other bodhicitta, you have practice of other 5 perfections, practice of generosity, practice of morality, practice of joyful effort, practice of patience, practice of concentration. And if you lack of understanding emptiness, you are unable to cut the root of the delusion. So it's just like root of the tree. So if you cut the branches, it will grow all the time, right? But if you cut the root of the tree, it will not grow. So similarly, why it is very important to meditate on emptiness? Because without understanding emptiness, we are unable to cut the root of afflictive emotions. We can eliminate, but cannot eliminate from the root of the afflictive emotions. Therefore, it is very important reason why we need to practice emptiness, because cutting the root of the afflictive emotions and the delusions. So that's the number 2 point, right? Number 3 is so this is the first when we talk about emptiness, right? We have to understand very subtle level of emptiness. So grosser level of emptiness is previous 2 types of emptiness. Emptiness of self-sufficient and emptiness of external absence of external existence is the gross level of understanding of emptiness. So most important is understanding emptiness, most subtle level. Subtle level means understanding emptiness of the Madhyamika Pasankika viewpoint. So Madhyamika Pasankika viewpoint means understanding emptiness with the middle way, using the middle way of reason, and then understand the emptiness. That's most important. So therefore, first middle way, when we talk about middle way, Lama Tsongkhapa is talking about unification of the true truths. Unification of the true truth. So unification of the true truth, all conventional truth. When we talk about the true truth, we are talking about conventional truth and ultimate truth, right? So the conventional truth, understanding conventional truth lead you to understand the law of causality. You know what I mean? So if understanding conventional existence lead you to law of causality. So that means you will not go to the nihilism. Nihilism. So understanding ultimate truth can dispel the fundamental mistaken view. So mistaken view. So this will cut the absolutism. So Lama Tsongkhapa said, unification of true truth. So conventional truth lead you to understand the law of causality. Ultimate truth dispel the wrong view, mistaken ignorance. So then unification of truth, Lama Tsongkhapa said. So in fact, unification of truth means Lama Tsongkhapa said, we are talking about emptiness of self and emptiness of phenomena. Only two types of emptiness, right? Self and phenomena. So we have two types of grasping, self-grasping and phenomena grasping. So therefore, emptiness, there are two types of emptiness. Emptiness of self and emptiness of phenomena. So therefore, so that means also unification of this truth means self is empty of inherent existence. Self is empty of inherent existence, but yet self is empty of inherent existence, yet conventional or normal self can carry all our daily activities. This. So self is empty of inherent existence. However, nominal conventional self, we carry all our daily actions. So this will cut to extreme too. Remember, self is empty of inherent existence, cut absolutism. Conventional self carry all our daily activities, walking, talking, whatever. So this will dispel the nihilism. So then it comes to the middle way. Okay. So that's why Great Lama Tsongkhapa said, unification of truth, unifying, understanding, unification of truth can use the middle way of reason to understand the emptiness. You understand what I'm saying? So this is now we need to discuss about how to identify this inherent existent self. Right? So this is very important, very difficult to believe self is merely labeled by the mind. Every time it appears objectively. As soon as we see ourselves, it appears existing from the side of the object, not merely labeled by the mind. So therefore, Lama Tsongkhapa says we have to use the analogy during meditation time. So the best analogy is using that coil rope, dawn time, coil rope. And then you project coil rope to be snake, right? So that's, you designate a coil rope to be snake. But when we search from the object, there's nothing snake existing from the object, right? So first you are mistaken and not very clear, and then you designated coil rope snake. And then if you designate a coil rope to be snake, then fear arises, like all this fear, all kinds of problem. So similarly, we designate ourselves to be existing from the side of the object. All this fear, problem, grasping arises. But when we search from the base of our aggregates, you cannot find, right? Everything, right? Like coil rope. So using that analogy is very important, like coil rope, designated snake. And when you try to find a snake from the coil rope, there's nothing snake existing, only rope. Like, so similarly, how to identify the self means it is very difficult to believe self to exist merely labeled by the mind. Every time it existing from the side of the object. Therefore, we use that analogy. Easy to understand how to identify the self, inherent existent self. Now, actual inherent existent self is very important. We have to be recognized accurate inherent existent self. Right. So therefore, Lama Tsongkhapa said, whatever appears to our mind, we should not follow. Like, there are so many appearances. Like, whatever appears to our mind, we should not follow. But rather, when so we are identifying the accurate independent self. So it means whatever appears to your mind, you should not follow. But based on 5 aggregates. So first aggregate appears, and then self appears. Your body, sensation, your 5 aggregates, and then 5 base of designation, and then aggregate appear first, and then self appear. When self appear, it appears existing from the side of the object, not merely labeled by the mind. So that is accurate identifying independent self. So whatever appears to your mind, we should not follow. Right? Mind, you know what I mean, so many appearances. But based on 5 aggregates, aggregate appears, and then self appears. When self appears on the basis of aggregate, it appears existing from the side of the object, does not appear merely labeled by the mind. So when this appearance recognized, so one part of your watch, this one, base of my aggregate, self appears existing from the side of the object, does not exist merely labeled by the mind. And one part of your mind, watch this, keep going, keep going this, okay. So when you keep going watching this, there are 2 points Lama Tsongkhapa make. We can make mistake easily. So the first point is, when you are meditating on the non-conceptual state, you are not penetrating absence of independent existence of the self. 1 point. Number 2 point, when you have some understanding of emptiness, but not penetrating on the absence of independent existent self. This is very easy. We can. So when you are meditating, meditating non-conceptual state, and you are not penetrating the absence of independent existent self. You have some understanding of emptiness, but not penetrating the essence of independent existent self. Neither of these two is incorrect. So, not correct, okay. So correct is, so that we are talking about that identifying this inherent existent self, right? We have idea of inherent existence, something like that, That idea is what we call the gross level of independent existent self. So that is not subtle level of independent existence. Idea is when you get angry, right? So Lama Tsongkhapa use it self to be appeared solid independent, eternal, separate from the body and mind. So that kind of self appears, that is grosser level of independent existence of self appears to your mind. When you negate that, you are not meditating on emptiness. So we can make it kind of like you negate the idea of independent existence self, but not experience the independent existence self. So you understand what I'm saying? So therefore, so here is very important. Remember, these 2 points we can easily make mistake. When we are remaining on non-conceptual mind, right? State, not penetrating on the emptiness of independent existence. And when we have some understanding of emptiness, but not penetrating of the empty, so neither of these two is correct. Okay, so correct. So what we have to use is correct. Lama Tsongkhapa use 2 special method, special mindfulness and special vigilance or introspection. So special mindfulness means, according to Lama Tsongkhapa, special mindfulness means when you try to identify this independent existent self, right? Building picture is not that sufficient. Experience and sustain that experience, or how can I say experience. So building picture of the inner existence is not sufficient. Important is penetrating or experiencing absence of independent self. You understand what I'm saying? So that is special mindfulness. So when you experiencing this, right, this empty of inner existence, when you negate, right, empty of inner existence, right, and if the strengthen or the energy decrease, then be aware and use the introspection and sustain the experience, not the picture. You understand? So that is special introspection. These 2, so very important. We are talking about that is identifying the object of negation. Identify. Now you identify the object of negation, right? Now you have to negate the independent existence self. So when you identify accurately, correctly, now if you negate, easy, right? Before, we may make mistake. We may identify the idea of the object of negation, independent existence self, not experiencing, but it's not good. Okay. So when you identify true independent existent self, then negation. Then you have to negate the independent existent self, right? So when you negate the independent existent self, number A is independent existent self one with the aggregates. Or number B, it is totally separate from the aggregate. Only two options. If it is one with the aggregates, then we have 5 aggregates, right? Forms, feeling, then what happened? Five aggregate, 5 person, only one single person, right? Problem. So you know this is not right. So if it is totally separate from the aggregates, then we have to say you are independent self. But that's not true. You depend on the body, mind, no body, no. You depend on many parts, right? Parts. So first, object of negation, right? So object of negation means now you have to negate that independent existent self. So, but you have to recognize this very clearly, vividly. You need also strong grasping on the self. When there's strong grasping, right, it's the best opportunity if somebody criticizes you, or somebody press you, or criticize you, or somebody says something, right? The best opportunity you can catch this independent existent self vividly, very clearly. That's the best opportunity. But when you are meditating, right, if there's nobody criticizing you or whatever, so then how can you identify this? You need a strong grasping on the self. So it is very important. You should think that I'm a great meditator, I'm a great practitioner like that. And this grasping, this independent existence self. And then you identify, oh, this is independent existence self. So this is the object of negation. So if it exists, it should be exist one with the aggregate or one totally separate from the aggregate, because there is no third way to exist this independent existence self. When you make this conclusion, right, then conclusion means now you have to sustain this. So you negate the absence of independent existence self. So you realize it does not exist one with aggregates or totally separate from aggregates, because there is no third way to exist this self. And now you realize that that self does not exist independently. It is absence of independent existence, and you use the middle way of reason. So when you use the middle way of reason, it will increase the conceptual wisdom. Conceptual wisdom increase will diminish dualistic between mind and emptiness. For example, like Buddha used like 2 pieces of stick, rub, right? And you start the fire, More fire burn, more fire start, wood burn. Fire burn the woods. So similarly, more we use the middle way of reason with the conceptual wisdom, diminish the dualistic experience between emptiness and what? Dualistic, right? Between emptiness and mind, right? So when you use this, right? When you use this, how can I say? When you use this middle way of reason, right? And using this conceptual wisdom and decrease the dualistic. So when you finally find, oh, and this is the real reason of the emptiness, and then you should stop conceptualizing. Because if you more conceptualize, then also it will increase the dual mind. So when you realize, oh, this is the middle way I use, this is the perfect reason, and you stop conceptualizing mind. And then that point, you sustain the emptiness of the essence of independent existence. So that emptiness is called space-like meditation on emptiness. Namasangapa. So now this is the conclusion, right? Conclusion. So conclusion means, so we have independent existence self, right? You making final conclusion, oh, independent existence self does not exist. Because if it exists, only 2 points. One with aggregates or totally separate from aggregate. There's only 2 options, So one with aggregates and totally separate from the aggregates. So there's problem. So now conclusion is, oh, now this my independent existence self does not existing from the side of the object, but it is merely labeled by the mind. So when it does not existing from the side of the object, it will dispel the absolutism. It is merely labeled by the mind, it will dispel the nihilism. It comes to the middle way of reasoning, and then non-conceptual mind. Non-conceptual mind sustain the meditation on emptiness. Okay, so that is the final conclusion of the emptiness. I can talk a lot, but no note. Brain is not working. So now what we have now final we have to meditate on emptiness. Okay, meditation on emptiness, it is very good. You can visualize the Manjushri, Buddha wisdom, Manjushri, sword, Manjushri, orange color, Manjushri, Buddha wisdom. So you can imagine Manjushri in front of you. And then you can reflect that, so you have clear image of Manjushri, and then you can think that since beginningless time, I'm suffering, a pain, suffering. All this pain and suffering is created by this inner self-grasping mind. So this inner self-grasping mind, before I study about emptiness or, I don't know about inner, I don't know much about this, inner independent existence self. Now I realize this inner independent self-grasping is something deceiving me, and very cunning. If still I am under the control of this grasping, pain, suffering will never end. So you have to think about in front of Manjushri, And I have lost so many opportunities because of this inner self-grasping, taking all my opportunity. However, but today I am very, very fortunate because I have opportunity to study some meaning of the emptiness, taught by Nagarjuna, great master, taught by Lama Tsongkhapa. So I have opportunity to distinguish between distinguish and I will not lose this opportunity. I have only one opportunity, So if I lost this opportunity, I lost many opportunities before because due to my ignorance. And now I have opportunity, and I recognize this innate grasping, is fantasy. It's just it's mistaken, and so I will not let my mind under control of this inner grasping, and I will try my best to identify the object of negation, to identify this independent existent self, and to negate independent existent self. To make conclusion, I will be able to meditate on the unification of these true truths. Unification of true truth means, please, Buddha Manjushri, bless me to do this. You ask, request, Manjushri. So that is the meditation, You should. So therefore, so I want to make one revision. First, lineage of emptiness. So lineage. So lineage of emptiness. Second is why we need to meditate on emptiness. Then third is how to identify this independent existent self. Actual identifying the independent existent self. Then negating independent existent self. Maintaining the essence of independent existent self, and make conclusion or meditate on emptiness. You understand what I'm saying? So whenever but it is very important to understand the emptiness of the self-sufficient and emptiness of external assistance is the base of understanding of the very subtle emptiness of absence of independent existence. We have to understand very clearly about emptiness of self-sufficient and emptiness of absence of external existence is the base of understanding of the very subtle emptiness of absence of independent existence. Give you foundation. So without understanding of this growth level of emptiness, we cannot understand the subtle level of emptiness. So therefore, when we negate, it is very important to not negate the idea or the picture of the independent existence self. What we have to do is negate accurate independent existence self. Experiencing, using this two. Remember, using this two means special mindfulness, special vigilance or introspection. Special mindfulness is not building the picture, but experience. That's special mindfulness. When you decrease the energy of sustaining that one, use special introspection. You know what I mean? Just like single-pointed and analytical meditation combined together. You know what I mean? Unification of samadhi and special insight. Samadhi, single-pointed concentration, special insight, analytical meditation. So when we lose the object, analyze. Remember? Use the object, analyze. Just like Buddha gave the example of the eagle flying on the sky, right? Eagle. So first need flap the wing a couple of times. On the original, no flapping. It's like single point of concentration. And flapping like this is analytical meditation. So that is the what we call meditation on emptiness. Everyone can do this, right? Yeah. Any questions about?
Could you just go over the growth and stuff again?
Growth is this is very good. When we get angry, right? Angry, very good opportunity. Self exists independently, eternally, very solid, separate from the body and mind. That is growth level of independent self. So that, if you negate that, you will not realize emptiness. Right? So when emotion arises, right? So then it appears very solid, eternal, separate, independent, separate from body and mind. That is growth level of independent existence self. So that the actual real independent existence self is, remember, aggregate appears. First aggregate, base of designation is our aggregates. Yeah. And then, remember Lama Tsongkhapa said, we should not follow whatever appears to the mind. Not following that way. Point is, on the basis of aggregate appear first, and then self appear. When that self appear, it appear existing from the side of the object, not merely leveled by the mind. That is accurate, independent existence self. Understand what I'm saying? It will make difference, right? That, so when you aggregate appears, and then second, myself appears, and it appears existing from the side of the object, does not exist, merely leveled by the mind. So when this appears, one part of your mind sustain this one, They sustain that experience. Sustain that experience, and you will finally recognize, experience this, this object of negation. So when you recognize the object of negation, then you finally realize emptiness. You know what I mean? If we negate too much, right, you will disappear, right? This happened in Tibet, somebody, Lama, give teaching and disciple on the meditation hut, said 10 disciple. And Lama said, just meditate on object of negation. 10 disciple in the hut in Tibet, so they all are meditating, object of negation. And then Lama said, after coming back from the meditation, did you recognize that object of negation? All disciples said, we all disappear. We all disappear because they are negating too much. That's why we talk about unification of true truth. Unification of true truth means first conventional truth and ultimate truth. Conventional truth lead you to understand law of cause and effect. So when you real cause and effect, not fall into the nihilism, right? Ultimate truth, then not fall into the absolutism. This is one point. Second unification is when you negate that accurate, independent existence, self does not existing from the side of the object, dispel the absolutism. It does not exist from the side of the object, it is merely leveled by the mind, then you dispel the nihilism. I'm existing. So you negate. So that's what happened. These 10 people in the heart, they negate too much, and when they are negating independent existent self, they are also negating conventional self, and they all disappear. Not coming in the middle way reason. Middle way reason means, so you cut the two extremes, absolutism and nihilism, or the unification of true truth, the unification of calm abiding and special insight. Unify these two. Very important, like calm abiding, very important. Special insight, both are very important. Conceptual mind, generally speaking, conceptual mind, more we think, will experience more dualistic between mind and emptiness. But if we use the middle way of reason, remember Buddha gave you analogy, example of the two pieces of the wood. Rub, it start fire, more fire, would burn. If we use the middle way of reason with the conceptual wisdom, it will decrease the dual mind. Dual mind is emptiness and mind split. Non-conceptual mind, emptiness and mind become oneness. But remember, non-conceptual mind, we have to be confusion. Remember, Lama Tsongkhapa said, one point, you are remaining on the non-conceptual state of mind, you are not penetrating on the absence of independent existence of the emptiness. Sometimes. Non-conceptual mind, no thought. Right. But if you have understanding of emptiness, but not penetrating on the absence of independent existence self, this will happen. So therefore, Lama Tsongkhapa used very special mindfulness, special vigilance for introspection, and make this conclusion. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, thank you.